Welcome, Lolly Artistry. I'm from upstate New York. Not a lot of places sell coal. I'm lucky that a guy who lives down the road that sells it for heating. I've acquired big equipment, and I am going to acquire more, hopefully. I guess you need to have an open mind and willing to build things with your own hands, save money. Don't be ashamed of it. It does the job. It does what it's supposed to do. If you're going to be a blacksmith, be prepared to be very dirty all the time. And it's the kind of dirty that doesn't wash out all the time. Coal dust, grease, grime, sanding dust, you name it. But you'll love it. I have been doing this now for, I think, 4 years, going on my 5th. Started out as a hobby. Love doing it. You better have a wife, girlfriend, or be single. Somebody that understands what it is you do. Because you are going to be dirty. You are going to spend hours in the shop. I am very fortunate. I have a loving wife who helps me and hates me all at the same time. She now goes to garage sales, and if I'm there or not, don't matter. She's looking for things for the shop. Metal, old iron, you name it. But it's awesome. So, shop tour. It ain't a big shop. Not gonna be a big tour. But this proves that you don't need a big shop. All the expensive toys, the power hammers, the presses, you name it, you don't need it. I am fortunate enough to have picked up a power hammer, building a press, my own. As I said, 90% of my shop I've built, and it does the job. Maybe later, money's better, who knows? But for now, it does the job. So shop tour. Alright, we'll start right here. I mean, this is pretty much where the magic happens. It's coal forge. I think everybody should start out on a coal forge. You learn the different temperatures, how to burn steel, how not to burn steel. We've all done it. Get used to it. But nothing heats like coal. Not propane, not any of that. This is an old, late 1800s coal forge. There's the tweeter. Air comes in. Bouncy house blower. That thing is amazing. Any forge should have a bouncy house blower. It pushes air like there's no tomorrow. I can forge weld with it. I can do all the heating, cooling, everything I need to do, temper with it. It's all right there. Clean out at the bottom. Just a little trap door. Goes into a metal bucket. Pretty simple. The press. Old log splitter. Nothing to it. Needs a motor. Pump. Handle to make it go up and down and go squish. Find them on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, blown motors. You can find them. Pretty cheap. A couple $100 and you got a decent press started. My first Anvil. Ain't much to it. Railroad track. Ground out with a grinder. By hand. And that's what I used for probably the first year, year and a half. Until I was lucky enough to come across my little Arm & Hammer. Not to be confused with a Vulcan. Arm & Hammer. 80 to 90 pound anvil. not strapped down. Reasons being, I like to move the anvil around when I'm using it. As you can see, it's not very far from the coal forge. Heat the steel up, bring it right to the hammer. Speaking of hammers. But, oh, can't see that yet. That's a surprise. If you're going to be a knife maker, right here is where you're going to spend 99.9% of your time. At the belt grinder. And you want to talk about dirty. Little bucket to catch the sparks, water in the summertime, and antifreeze and water in the wintertime. Keep it from freezing. Built out of an old Treadmill. Looks like dog. Yeah. Treadmill motor. Inside is the Treadmill board. Potentiometer. Speeds it up and down. On and off. Turn her all the way down because it's a slow start motor. But, inch her up. And she takes off. That's where I spend most of my time. Platen, built myself. Flat platen. Bearings to get into tight places. You'll figure it out as you go. You gotta be a MacGyver. Good drill press. You need a good drill press. This is my movable table. I can work on it, plasma cut on it, weld on it, and it rolls around the shop. Leg vise. Do you need one? No. Are they amazing? Yes. You want to hold something still? That'll do it. Get a good welder. This has been a good little welder for me. It's an Amico. It is a stick. Plasma and TIG. All in one. It works amazing for what I do, you know, cutting metal, heat, you know, welding little chunks of steel together. It does great, and it will heat or weld thick steel. Be prepared to start collecting stuff, motors, metal. As you can see under my bench over here, I have buckets full of metal. People are going to give you metal. It's just, that's the way it is. You know, and you take it because you never know. You're going to have lots of metal. Anvils, sometimes you can get lucky and get a deal, but right now they're just like lumber. Everything is through the roof on them. You know, $300-400 for a 90-pound anvil. Never used to be like that. Used to be able to buy them for $1 a pound. Not anymore. Foundry. Runs off the same bouncy house blower. I can melt copper and brass and aluminum for making guards and what have you. There's the burner. Homemade. You notice the two tanks look an awful lot alike? Yep, propane tank. See, you can build this stuff without going crazy. You can buy them. If you have the money and want to buy them, you go right ahead. I'm not one of those people. And this is Bradley. Bradley the beam hammer. Built in the old. Used to run off from a line shaft back in the day. Now it doesn't. Runs off a 5 horsepower electric motor. 1700 RPM. 1200 RPM would be better, but 1700 is what I have, and it works. This thing is like a 200-pound sledgehammer, and it'll move metal. You'll see it in an upcoming video of its first maiden voyage. But while I'm here on this, this is the original motor. Yeah. Goes about 300 pounds. It's a GE induction motor, 3-phase, and it's only a 3 horsepower motor. And it weighs more than a dead minister. But anyways, moving on. This is the only thing that I have truly spent money on for the shop. Because it's going to move metal like there's no tomorrow. She's old, she's crusty, but she's awesome. I'll do a full video on this exact hammer in the upcoming videos because there wasn't a lot on this out there when I was looking. I do have the original manuals for it, so if anybody's looking for them, I can get them. If you have a Bradley and need the bumpers replaced, I have a guy I know, I can get you in contact with him, and he can get the bumpers remade. I was fortunate enough that my bumpers are in really good shape. Let's look at the badging. Is that cool or what? Bradley and Company, number 675. Syracuse, New York. Cushion held hammer. Patent date October 28th. It says 1873. But I do believe that these hammers, the beam hammers, are much older. But it's awesome. And I'm looking forward to using it a lot more. This is truly one of my very first videos. I know that it's not professional. I'm not an Alex Steele or any of those. I'm doing it because everybody can't afford power hammers, presses, all that stuff that the big guys have that, you know, they've been doing it a long time. They've acquired it. They've gotten lucky. Well, I can't say lucky. They've worked for it. And I'm working for it. So, you know, it's a small shop. You don't need a big area. Half this is a garage. That's my wife's fault. I wanted a full shop. And there's plans for other stuff here in the future. Like, you know, I want to get a lathe, a metal lathe. You know, something over here. Set that up. But I still want a shop where I can pull a car in and work on it. Because I'm the average Joe. You know, I've still got a life outside of blacksmithing. I still have to work. Still have to pay the bills. You know, this just happens to be my full-time job. I also work part-time with the school district. I coach football. So I'm always busy. And there's always honey-do lists. So, you know, honey-do this, honey-do that. But, oh, forgot to tell you what this little secret is. This is going to be my new propane forge. The body's built. The inside, the doors have got the right stuff. The bottom's all done. I got to lay the bricks out. I have to build a ribbon burner for the top, and that's going to all connect down to down here where the bouncy house blower will be interchangeable with everything else and the propane tank. But it'll be big enough to heat treat swords, knives, all that good stuff. Oh, speaking of dirt, look how dirty I am. Like I said, be prepared. I'm a blacksmith. But, follow your artistry. Check me out. I can show you some of the stuff I've built. Of course, I've never done YouTube, so this will be all new to me. If you're interested, follow along. You know, click that notification button, do all that good jazz. And we'll do the everyday blacksmith, because not everybody can be an Alex Steele or anything like that. This is just for the regular Joe who wants to have some fun, beat some metal. And if you are interested in coming and trying out this bad boy, you know, piece of history, it's amazing. Shoot me up. Hit me up on the comments. Like, follow, subscribe. There'll be more. Till then, thanks.